Ladies and gentlemen, season 2 of DCD Racing League is upon us, and we're here for the Australian Grand Prix. I hope you enjoyed that intro music, by the way, brought to you by KGB and the Randoms Gang. And we're heading through, or KGB Raptors and the Randoms Gang, even. And now we head to the session. We've got 10 drivers. We're heading straight into it. We've got 10 drivers. We will have 11 as we get underway. But at the moment, that is the case that we have upon us. But yes, very, very good to see, ladies and gents. And over half the field. Over half the field are racing tonight, which is always good to see. That's going to be very loud. Let me just turn that one down quickly. We've got SKG Bramble, who is not in the lobby yet. I'm actually just going to see how that sounds quickly. I don't know what that is, and it looks a bit like a funny input. No, it's right. It's fine. Okay. So I'm going to pretend that that is fine. Is that a car? That is a car, okay. We're fine. I know finally. That's not my fault. It's KGB Raptor and the Randoms Gang's fault. So, anyway, we're in. We are around the Australian Grand Prix. We're around the Albert Park circuit for the Australian Grand Prix, is what I meant to say. But, well, should we take a look at said Albert Park circuit? I think that would be a good plan, don't you? Anyway, the Albert Park circuit is 5.278 kilometres, 3.279 miles and 14 turns, 3 DRS zones. There's actually 4, so this track map needs updating. There are 14 corners around the circuit, a couple of them contentious, but all of them exciting, and these drivers are heading through them now. Gaming Infinity just coming out of the pit to start his outlap. ARL already on his push lap. And the VCARB, the sole VCARB in this race tonight, is looking to set the first quality time on this circuit. We've got Ivan Toncic just ahead of ARL on the circuits, and he's just headed through Sector 2. We've got Sector 1 for ARL, and, well, we are all good. EA, well, yeah, EA, we can blame EA, but I think EA are bored of taking the blame for everything that is their fault. So, right, okay, let me understand this for a second. You're missing this. Right, I understand that part. If it was on 39% and you're missing it, how long has it been on 39% for? Just out of interest. Because I feel like my games, when they're 39%, especially when it's a game this size, a couple hours, maybe? And if I've had it on for an hour before the race, for example, I feel like I'd be alright. There's yellow flags out. That's a Williams getting out of the way, possibly of Gaming, probably of Gaming Infinity, in fact. ARL's going to head around the final corner, and he is going to set the first push lap time. It's going to be 1 minute 15, not quite, 1 minute 17.065. So only 2 seconds off. The line is much later than I was expecting it to be. MCH goes across the line 6/10 slower, and J5 Gaming is in 5th place. He's going to come up to the line. Where is he going to go in his Kick Sauber? It's going to be 3rd and provisionally at last. Sharp Tapestry is in the final sector. Luke Racer is around the final corner. He's going to come up to the line. Is it going to be the quickest lap of all? Not quite. He is under a 10th behind ARL, though, and so he is very close. Sharp Tapestry very clearly backed out of that lap, and he's going to go once again. He's got his teammate for company, Gaming Infinity. He's actually going to let Gaming Infinity go, and the Williams is going to be on his push lap. We've got Jenta Barsh and Ivan Toncic on their push laps at the moment. They are actually quite close together on the circuit, because you can see Jenta Barsh is this Kick Sauber just ahead of... oh no, this is Ivan Toncic even. He is that Kick Sauber just ahead of Jenta Barsh, as that was Sharp Tapestry going in 2 minutes 03, not quite what he would have wanted to see. Only on 60%. I don't remember when you sent that message about the 39. Can you make it for the race? I'd hope so. It is the question at the very least, anyway. Good evening, Bryce. Hello. How are we? Oh, off goes Ivan Toncic. He's in the way of the car behind. He's just slammed into the wall. Tabash is invalidated on his lap, so Ivan Toncic has gotten away with one there. But those two tussling on that circuit. Toncic continues on despite that front wing damage, so clearly he feels as though he can get a decent time, and as that is Toncic with a 120. Tabash, of course, invalidated his lap. It'll be on about 9 PM. Okay. Well, considering the way that the lobby opened up, I feel like you've got enough time. I'm hoping that the lobby is shut now. I'm expecting that the lobby is shut now, because nobody else has randomly joined. But you never know. We shall see as we head through the session. I certainly hope not. Gaming Infinity goes up in second. 17:1 is the lap time he sets. 17s is quality. Like, I did a couple of time trial laps around this circuit. My best was I want to say a 17:8. So, and that's in time trial. So, at the moment, I'd be sitting P5 with my time trial time, more likely down with Toncic, who I know slammed into the wall, but continued on. Tabash now is going to try and set a lap, but he has invalidated. Bramble is having connection issues. He has joined, but Bramble is in P9. ARL setting the fastest time of 16:7 in first place. Can Tabash do anything on his third push lap, because he's invalidated on the last two? We will see. He got a 17:1 on that previous lap time, but of course, some of that time loss was probably from him going off of the circuit. And, well, it is what it is at the end of the day. We've got Gaming Infinity on his in-lap. ARL is on a push lap. Oh, no, he's not. He was on a push lap last time out. The sector lap time stitched me up, but he improved by 3.5 tenths, so pretty solid lap from ARL. Floyd Pink's in sector 1. He's on a push lap. Tabash is going to try and set a valid lap himself. He heads through sector 2, and at the moment he's kept it valid. He's halfway around the circuit, keeping it valid, so a pretty good start from Barsh at least. And we will see where he ends up, if he's able to keep it valid through the chicane. This is the place where most likely they're going to invalidate it, as he hits a 44.8. He's kept it clean, and he's kept it just absolutely perfect on the exit at the moment, just riding that curb like he needs to, and heading through the final sector now. He's going to try not to invalidate on that lap. I'm getting weird white noise. He has invalidated on that lap, and Tabash will not be improving on that lap time. What is that weird white noise? I don't know if you're getting it. I hope not. Either way, you're going to get the action, and Floyd Pink heading around the final corners. He was not as quick as Tabash into the first two sectors, but he has kept it clean and in a straight line and valid. And he's going to come up to the line with an 18.5. That slots him on the back of the chasing pack with Toncic and Sharp Tapestry. Not competitive laps, I would say. Bryce, Tabash, and Bramble as well. Not setting a lap time yet. Bramble won't set a lap at all. And, well, he's having difficult times at the moment. Or at least, I'd argue that he is. Because, of course, connection issues, unable to get into the lobby. But, at the same time, he was late. So, it's his own fault at the end of the day. And he can only blame himself. Floyd Pink now 0.24 seconds up on his lap time. He's a quarter of a second up on his 18.5. And he's going to be hoping to get past J5 Gaming and up into... well, he's got a big gap then to Loop Racer. But if he made a mistake in this final sector, this is the perfect opportunity for him, as MCH with a 17.0, ARL with a 16.4. So a very strong lap there from the RB. What can Floyd Pink do in response? It's going to be a 17.6. So he's bridging that gap between Loop Racer and Tabash at the moment. But yeah, everybody else out on their second push laps, and MCH, ARL. Or third push laps for them, but they've done pretty well. Loop Racer up to the line, but he steals that pole position away from ARL as it stands with a 16.3. And they are just raising the bar of what is necessary to do well in this qualifying session. And Luke Racer up right to the very peak of this field. Shop Tapestry has just started on his lap. The Williams is going to look to improve by at least 2/10 if he wants to fight with his teammates anymore. And he'll be fighting further up. And he's going to come out of the first sector invalid. Invalid? How was that? Anyway, it was invalid is the most important thing. And Shop Tapestry will not be improving on this lap time. On this occasion, Ivan Toncic just behind. I keep saying Toncic. It's not Toncic. It's Toncic. I don't know, because Ivan's not told me. But I'm thinking of Luka Doncic when I say that, and he's obviously got a C. Anyway, Ivan Toncic is 4/10 up in the first sector! And out in the next. Slamming into the wall, slamming into the Williams as well for good measure. And Ivan Toncic has retired. Gaming Infinity was that Williams who slammed into the side of him. He is going to drop 5 places lower. I'm not sure whether we're going to be able to override that, but Gaming Infinity at the end of the day shouldn't have slammed into the side of either Ivan Toncic at all. And that is Toncic out of the session. And, well, a very disappointing moment for Gaming Infinity. Coming into the pits is Shop Tapestry. Gaming Infinity's got to recover from that. He didn't pick up any wing damage, but he's going to try to go again. And he's going to try to fly away as he heads through. He's 4 seconds down on that last lap, but of course, that was not a push lap. It was going to be at the beginning of it, but at the end, well, he crashed, and he's also invalidated on this lap already. So Gaming Infinity not going to improve. Forgot to change your settings. Settings on what? Ghosting? I'm guessing, if it's in context of the Toncic Gaming Infinity incident. He's improved in the first sector. Someone's got to tell him it's invalid. I don't think he's very aware. But it is what it is. 5 minutes and 58 seconds left in the session. We are preparing once again to go for their final runs. Both the Ferraris are out of the pits. Bramble has rejoined the session. Of course, he has retired, so he will not be improving on that lap time, unfortunately. The lap time that doesn't exist, and so he'll be starting from the back of the field. He'll probably be joined by Ivan Toncic. Toncic, if Briars doesn't head up. And, well, to be fair, Bramble will be by himself on that back row because he's in 11th place. We've got 11 drivers. We did have 12, but we decided, unfortunately, that we were going to kick KGB Raptor. And so he is not on this grid tonight. And I'm sure he would have loved to be. He sat around for a while in that Ferrari before getting bored. And leaving, we've got Briars heading through the first sector with a 27.161, allegedly purple, but you can never trust what the game says, can you? He heads through the second sector now, trying to fly through it and catch up to where Luke Racer is at the very top. You've got the top two within 1/10 of each other, and then there's a whole half a second back. There's actually 6 tenths back even to MCH, so a huge gap. And Briars heading out of the second sector. Pretty decent lap time. Poor exit of the chicane, just running to the inside, and he's going to try to recover that little bit of time as he heads through the final one now. The number 5, Aston Martin, and no, it's not Seb Vettel, it is Briars, and it is exactly the same, I'd say, in terms of ability. Heading through the final couple of corners now for Briars, and the 4-time world champ is going to see whether he's going to be able to get up to where Luke Racer and ARL are as he heads out of the final corner. Up to the line, it's going to be a 1 minute 18.7, the slowest of the lot. And, yeah, there we go. He demotes Ivan Toncic down to P10. The 2 Ferraris on their push laps now. Jan Tabash improving by 6.5 tenths of a second. And he's going to try to go up the second sector split time. Beckons, and it's an improvement by an entire second. So now this lap could be on for pole position for Barsh if he can keep it off on the circuit. Just about there. Keeping it on the circuit to the end of the chicane. And this is going to be a very, very good lap at the moment, sitting with an 18.1. He's not happy with it. He's improved by a second within the first 2 sectors. And who knows how much time he's left on the board in this final one as he heads around the final couple of corners. Heads around the final one. Pedal to the metal, and it's foot to the floor up to the line. And does Jan Tabash take pole position? Yes, he does. By a considerable margin as well. 7 tenths of a second. And Luke Racer has been absolutely blown out of the water. Floyd Pink not improving. He stays in P8. J5 Gaming is improving in that first sector by a quarter of a second, and he's going to head through now, trying to catch up to the rest of the field. He's got about a second to catch up to the competitive part of the rest of the field, and that is exactly what he's going to try to do as he head through the second sector now. Split time is 0.372 seconds, and the kick Sauber now. Little wobble on the exit of the chicane, but he's gotten out of it absolutely okay now, and he's got that's braking zone, then the next braking zone, and then he is done on that lap. And we will see where he ends up going as he heads out of the final couple of corners. Where is he going to qualify as he heads out of the final one? We've got 2 minutes and 30 odd seconds left, so he's not got much time to go, but J5 Gaming up, improving by almost 3/4 of a second. It's 0.673, and that gets him back within range of Floyd Pink. Floyd Pink, who might be going again, is he not quite? He's going to prepare himself for this final lap. You'd think it'd be the final lap, at least, of his push. But nobody at the moment can touch Jente Bosch as Floyd Pink into the pits. And, well, he's going to try and prepare himself for the final run. It's going to be tight with 1 minute 50 left on the clock, especially if he goes that slowly in the pit lane, but trying to avoid a penalty is so real. And he comes out of it, and, well, he's going to get ready to go again. But it's Jente Bosch at the top, looking untouchable. Gaming Infinity has just started on a lap. He's at the moment on a 17.1. And we will see where the Williams is able to put that car as he heads through the first sector. The split time just a couple of corners away. And at the moment, he is just ahead of Sharp Tapestry. He's 2 tenths ahead of his teammate. Floyd Pink won't make it out of the pit. He is retired from the session. Jente Bosch doesn't think he needs to. He is also retired from that session. Gaming Infinity invalidating, adding to the woes that he has had today. And he has 56 seconds to get back round the circuit and get back ready for a final run. Reloop Racer, I mean, improving by 7.77 on that previous lap to get up to a 16.3. Losing out by 1,000th of a second and then slamming into the wall. Loop Racer's run is done. His qualifying is... He heads to that second and a half. And he opens up that DRS and he gets out of it. Not improving as much as he would have wanted. The checker flag is waved. Jente Bosch, Floyd Pink, J5, Ivan Toncic, and Bramble will not be improving on their lap times. Can MCH do anything? We've got somebody else as well coming around the final couple of corners. I believe that might be Sharp Tapestry. Where the Williams will be able to go will be decided in the space of a couple of seconds. Gaming Infinity came into the pits because he was not going to set another lap. Sharp Tapestry 16.6. So a strong lap from him. Still a second off Jente Bosch. What can MCH do as he comes up to the line? 17.0. So a minimal improvement, but not enough to gain positions. The final driver on this lap will be ARL, who's improving. Not anymore. Briars, what's he doing? He's not improving either. This is going to be your qualifying. This is going to be your grid for this race. Jente Bosch taking that pole position. Loop Racer in P2. ARL in P3 with Sharp Tapestry sitting in P4. Then it's MCH, Gaming Infinity, Floyd Pink, J5, Briars, Ivan Toncic, and then Bramble with those connection issues will hopefully get him back in for the race. But those are your top 11 out of 11. Having a lot of coughing fits tonight. I'm not 100% sure why, but it is what it is. And we will live with it. End of the qualifying session. Briars is in P9. His teammate is in P11. And plumb last, Jente Bosch taking that pole position by 0.7 of a second ahead of Loop Racer. ARL in P3. Sharp Tapestry in P4. Then you've got to go 0.5 back, or 4.5 if you're being picky, to go to MCH. And then Gaming Infinity 6th, but with that grid penalty that may well get overturned, we shall see. Floyd Pink in 7th, J5 in 8th, Briars in 9th, Toncic in 10th, and then Bramble rounding out the grid. Destroyed your wing last lap, did Briars? Is that right? I did not. Did I see that? don't think I did. I saw somebody, Luke Racer, lose his front wing. AJLS, aka ARL, saying, I'm bloody stupid. Was 3/10 up into Sector 1. There was time on the board. Well, yeah, but it's about hooking it up at the end of the day. And as much as you may have been up, it's all about hooking it up, and that's so crucial. I know that for a fact because I can cook on this Sector 1, Sector 2 and 3. I'm absolutely nowhere. Span turn 5. Where's turn 5? Right, so you've got turn 1, which is like the flick. Turn 2 is the exit. 3 is the braking zone. 4 is the weird one where I always spin. Turn 5 is, after the hatched markings, where you always invalidate. That's turn 4. And then just after that is turn 5. I'll highlight it in the race, I'm sure. But speaking of the race, we're heading to it shortly. I reckon it's going to be mediums, hards, or hards, mediums. Simple strategies, we shall see. Yeah, hards Fiente. Everybody else on the mediums. And that could be the strategy. Bramble, default setup. But an esports driver, come on. Come on. We're going to be going in 2 minutes' time. Where Doing Crash says Briars is where he crashed. That means nothing to me. Hopefully it means something to some of the viewers that we had. Because I didn't watch the Grand Prix, because I'm not waking up at 3, because I'm not mental. Was it 3 or was it 5? I'm not waking up at either of those, because I'm not mental. I might well do for China. 7's more acceptable. I'll be at work. Not on Sunday, on Saturday. I'll be at work. That's not fun. Not at 7, mind. I'll be able to catch the start, but then I'll have to shoot off. The drawbacks of working mornings. The benefits of working mornings is that it means I can be here for action like this. I can be here for a race like this, round 1 of your DCD Racing League season. And we've got some interesting storylines to go for. For example, AJLS coming into the chat saying that he reckons he can hook it up. And he reckons that he's got good pace, AJLS, of course, being ARL, so keep a good eye out for him. The formation lap is about to begin, and Jente number 30 Ferrari will lead us away, and he's going to try and cook those tyres on this formation lap. Those tyres, that are the hard compound tyres. It's him, Shop Tapestry, and Gaming Infinity that all run it. And we shall see how they do as we head around the first lap. Jente needs reminding, I think, that it's not lap 1, it's the formation lap. So if you want to reel it back in, mate. Otherwise, I'll pull Raptor in to tell you that message, and you don't want to hear that. Bramble's going to race on the default setup from P10. It's not last on the grid, though. That's where Gaming Infinity is. And that it's going to be interesting to see where Gaming Infinity ends up. Shop Tapestry as well as teammates in P4. But we shall see. It's going to be a very intriguing race. If ARL thinks, as he may be able to, that he can fight with Yentobash, well, then that makes a race of it. Loot Racer as well thinks that. I'd imagine he thinks he can make it, as I think there was a little bit of a scrap between Gaming Infinity and Bramble as they got off of the line. Interesting stuff. We're going to come up to the line now. Yentobash is going to park in his grid position, and everybody else is going to follow. I'm hoping that we're going to have a little bit more successful parking than last time out. I don't know if you remember the last round in Abu Dhabi, the last round of Season 1. But it looks like one of the VCarbs is doing exactly so. I say one of the VCarbs, it's ARL. Where is he going? How do I go on board? He's been reset. He's been reset. This is going to be an awful camera angle. Yep, are we not going to move? Who's still parking? Who is it? Own up. Jesus, really? Right, Luke Racer, are you in your grid position? We're all ready. Well, if we've had a lobby crash, then that gives Bramble a great opportunity to put a setup on. What? Cameraman, keep that camera straight. Wobbling it around too much. See, the guy on the top, the guy on the air vent, he sits perfectly still. He's ready, right? This guy, no idea what he's doing. Waving it around. He's probably not even watching. He's probably talking. Just having a chat, having a natter. Be professional. Hold it straight. We'll see. What's the parking from Briars? Yeah, that does look pretty great. If you can't see the pit box generally, good parking. Especially if you can see the bottom right, the very bottom right of the screen, the little yellow mark. That's where they wanted to park. You can see it on the car ahead on Floyd Pink. J5 a little bit further back. Can't actually see it on Floyd Pink, so he's done a pretty good job. Luke Racer. Meh, a little bit far back. So we're going to have a new lobby. I think. Floyd's going to leave. Yeah, Floyd's left. He's now DNF'd, so we must have a restart. Right. Lobby restart. Lobby restart it is. Oh. Well, I think we're having lobby restart. But anyway. 5 lights. And it's action here in Australia for the season opener. Yentobash getting off to a good start. Yep, definitely a lobby restart. Either that or the racecraft is interesting as Briars retires from the session. So does Luke Racer. Bramble already up to P5 in turn number 1. Restart or cancel the race. Well, we've just seen Shop Tapestry fly into the wall. We've seen, that's a V card that looks very destroyed. Yentobash and J5 Gaming having a shootout. Well, Yentobash has despawned, so J5 wins that. MCH is in the lead of this one. Someone's got to tell him. Bramble, Floyd Pink, J5 as well. Who was that going off the circuit? Nobody. Lads, come on. Lads, come on. Come on, boys. You know this isn't a real race. Surely. Surely. Surely they don't think it's a real race. They've just watched 7 drive. There we go. Anyway, I'm going to send us on to an intermission. Because as much as I'm good at dragging out time, there's only so much time I can drag out. We've been going for 46 minutes. We've had qualifying. The other half an hour I've filled. Pretty sick flip. But yeah, I'll see you once again when we get ready for the race. All right. We'll go to stream, shall we? You can stop moaning about the song. Look, listen. It's 8 o'clock. We were supposed to start at 7. It is all down. I think we can all attribute it to KGB Raptor. I think that it's entirely KGB Raptor's fault. And I think that's the only option we have, is to blame it on him. Some are saying it's going to be chaos. Others are saying, please, can we just go now, please? And I'm saying that we're going to be in. That's my video. I tried to open the live. That's my video. And I say that we're going to be in for some absolutely rip-roaring racing around this circuit. And don't forget, less than 12 hours' time, Formula 1 is back. Racing is back. Chinese Grand Prix is back. Qualifying is finished. And the sprint is underway next tomorrow at 7 a.m. UK time. So be there or be square. Speaking of squares, the wheels that the driver's going to be putting on. That was a really bad joke. You can tell I've been sitting here for an hour, can't you? We are ready to get going. Finally, lap 1 is about to get underway. We're back in business, baby. And it's the start of the season. And the action is underway here in Australia. Jente Busch gets off to a strong start. Luke Racer trying to pull to the inside line of turn number 1. Can he make that move? He's going to try and make that move. That's his car going off the circuit in the background. That is MCH. That is Luke Racer's teammate off in that background. Down the inside goes ARL. He's going to try and take that P2 as we head through turn number 3. And turn number 4 now beckons for all of the drivers. MCH going round once again. Briers is off the pack. This is turn 5, by the way, where the driver lost his front wing earlier. We're heading through now with drivers looking for moves, not quite making them just yet, and just sitting in behind the top 6, breaking away from 7th down to 11th. And we could be seeing a move here for P5 with Floyd Pink around the outside, Bramble down the inside, and he's had a good start from 10th place. He makes his way up into P5, maybe even P4 if he can get past Sharp Tapestry. MCH is rebuilding his race from the ground up, and he's down the inside of Gaming Infinity, holding on to that move. And now his next car up is Ivan Toncic. It might not be for too much longer, though, because Ivan right on the rear of J5 Gaming as we head through Sector 3. Bramble up to P4 already. Who cares about your default setup? Because whenever you put a setup on, you absolutely fly through the field. You're up into P4 now. And next up is ARL. They get more difficult the further you up, the further you go up, though. And as we head out of lap 1 of this Grand Prix, Bramble is now chasing down ARL, but it's Jente Busch who holds the lead of this race. J5 Gaming already out of the DRS. Ivan Toncic looking to change that as he gone off the circuit, and that is the second time today that Toncic has fallen foul of the commentator's curse. That's his end plate off this time, not his tyre, and he drops to the rear of this field. Jente Busch has pulled out a gap of 0.8 of a second ahead of Luke Racer, with ARL in 3rd, Bramble in 4th. So I think this is going to be the fight, really, in this race. 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. Luke Racer leading ARL, leading Bramble. Sharp Tapestry 1.2 seconds behind. They're managing to reel in Jente Busch just a bit more with that DRS, but the pace that he showed over the last lap is impressive. And if ARL and Luke Racer continue to fight, then I think he's going to easily break away. Luke Racer losing the position to ARL as they head out of the 2nd sector and head out of the chicane into the 3rd. ARL holds on to P2. Luke Racer holds on to P3. Gaming Infinity makes his way past J5 Gaming into P7 instead of that P8 that he held before, and he's now in P7, 1.2 seconds off the pack, but he's already made his way into that DRS, almost, not quite. And he stays in behind. Jente Busch leads this race once again on lap 3, but ARL with the fastest lap. He's certainly closing in. As down the inside goes Bramble. P3 could be his, or around the outside even goes Bramble. P3 is his. Luke Racer is out the safety car. Luke Racer's out of that battle. Ivan Toncic is out of the race. There's a penalty for Briars. And after an hour and 5 minutes, Ivan Toncic has retired in this race. Not what he would have wanted to see after all this waiting to get underway. And the Kick Sauber causes the first safety car of this Grand Prix. Comes at a very interesting time. Are we going to have anybody coming into the pits? Jente Bosch is on the hard. Ivan was on the softs, so I think he was trying to push. But well, he's DNF'd. So really not what he would have wanted. Are we going to see anybody into the pit? I don't think so. But yeah, whoa, Luke Racer comes in. So we do have somebody. Coming into the pits. We have a few actually. Luke Racer, Floyd Pink, J5 and MCH coming into the pits. Hard's going on for them. So they're going to try to take those surely to the end of this race. But Jente Bosch is going to lead us under this safety car. And we have 25 laps of racing to go. I believe we're going to get about 23 of them. It is certainly going to be a little bit of action in this race. As well, I'm gonna ping Ivan. He's in a VC. I'm gonna see if I can join, and then just see if I can get his thoughts on it. Because well, I'd imagine he would be absolutely devastated. Completely respect, by the way, if he chooses not to reply. But there you go. He's DNF'd after an hour of waiting on lap 3 of this Grand Prix. We're on lap 4 now. Everybody's trying to catch back up. MCH and, well, I was going to say Ivan Toncic. MCH has the opportunity to build his race up from the bottom, really. And, well, whoa, who was that off into the grass? Little bit of loss of concentration there, I think, for Sharp Tapestry, who went into the grass. He's on the hards. He's going to try and stretch that stint. I think all the medium runners are just going to hope for the safety car. And, well, this is going to be interesting. I think we're going to come in next lap. As that is somebody into the box. That's ARL, our race leader, into the box. He waited his sweet time. He made that decision eventually to come into the pits. I think his team wasn't expecting it because they're running out of the pit box now to change his tyres onto the hards, as I think he's just spotted. Yeah, I can actually go to the end of the race on hards. So absolutely, why not? So that's exactly what he's going to do. He's going to be, though, at the back of the field. Not where he would have wanted to be. But it is what it is, and we shall see where everybody ends up. On the safety car restart, ARL dropping to the back of the field. He will catch back up very easily. Lap 5 of this Grand Prix is what we're on now. And he is going to try to fight his way forward. He'll have the freshest of all the hard compound tyres. And therefore he's going to try to fight his way forwards. Bramble in a great position. He is on the mediums. He's on the medium compounder tyre, and he is right behind Jente Bosch. He's going to be able to extend this first stint on those mediums as the safety car comes in this lap. We will see as Bramble gets underway behind Jente Bosch what he can do. I think he's going to be desperate to get through Jente, taking his time, already slowing the field down. And that's a bold, bold decision down here. This is a great camera angle, by the way. But you can see how much he's slowing everybody down. You can see it. And Well. This is going to be a very long time before we get underway. Come on, Yente. Hurry up, mate. Heading out of the final corner comes the Ferrari, pedal to the metal, and it's foot to the floor, and it's go, 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 go here in Australia for the opening round. We're once again underway, and we are green flag racing here at the Albert Park circuit. Yente Bosch gets off to a stronger start out of that safety car than Bramble, but those two pretty much identical restarts. Sharp Tapestry, a poor one in comparison, and he has lost that DRS range. He's lost that 1 second range as Bramble breaks late, pulls to the outside line, tries to make this move. Yente holds onto it, and he will continue to hold onto it now as we head through the first sector. Loop Racer going loopy. He's gone around and he's dropped to the rear of the field. He's now behind ARL. I think he's had an incident anyway. Whatever's happened, he's dropped down to the rear of this pack. Briars has lost DRS. Gaming Infinity has gained it back just about on Sharp Tapestry. They will get it on that next lap as ARL and J5 side by side. J5 just behind ARL now. He's tucked back in the Kick Sauber. The only Kick Sauber left in this race loses out to the only RB who entered this race. Floyd Pink and Briars side by side. As well, Briars, I say they were side by side. Briars must have had a poor exit. What's happening to him as he's driving into the wall? I think he's just lost sight of where the actual racetrack is, and he's losing out now to J5 even. So the battle for P5 turns into the battle for P9 for the Aston Martin. And he drops down. Luke Racer trying to find a gap. There wasn't a gap around the outside, and that has really broken his momentum now. There's 4 DRS zones on this circuit. 3 of them will be active this lap. And for Bramble, this is the opportunity to get past. Sharp Tapestry is 1.6 seconds behind, so there's no pressure from behind. And Yente Bosch will not be putting up too much of a fight, I don't think, at this point in this race. Bramble just behind. He's going to try and close that gap even smaller as Luke Racer makes his way past Brian. Bramble right on this rear now. He didn't take the opportunity through the first DRS, so that is because they didn't have DRS in that first place. That he will, though, out of the second DRS straight. But that means he's going to have to make the move into the chicane. Does he have the guts? Does he have the guile? Yes, he does. And he's into the race lead. 2.8 seconds now at a Sharp Tapestry. Floyd Pink dropping down. DRS available for ARL and MCH, who were side by side. And ARL makes his way through into P number 5. He's in the lead in this battle. And J5 Gaming just behind, looking to get into it. Sharp Tapestry becomes our second retirement from the session as he's just slammed into the wall in the third sector. And it's our second safety car of the race, lap 7. And great opportunity for Bramble. Great opportunity for Gaming Infinity if he wants to come into the pits. Indeed, he does. Yente Bosch, though, going into the pits on the hard. So very interesting decision from him. And he switches over to the mediums. Whether he can make them last 22 laps, whole other question. It's a great chance for Bramble now. Is the Aston Martin in the lead of the race once again? No, it's not Bramble. It is. He's dropped down to P3. It is the other one. And ARL leads the drivers. I will go in to a VC. We'll see how this goes. I will warn them not to swear. And if they swear, I'll have their heads. Right. Do not swear. I am a family-friendly channel. Okay. Fingies crossed. Okay, right. Where are you? DCD. I won't be able to hear you, I've just realised. I will now. Hang on. I'm not watching the stream to be able to hear you. I just want to get thoughts really on that race. And on how their race went. Hello.
Hello?
Right. Yes. I'd quite like a chat with both of you actually. I just want to know your thoughts on the race. Your thoughts on your performance as well. As Yente.
What?
Well, Yente had to go. He did say in chat. So.
Oh, I didn't see that. I didn't see that.
But yeah.
So funny. But the race, yeah. How do I put this nicely? Very bad.
And why on earth would that be, huh?
The absolute shambles of a lobby host, mostly. Then the shambles of the EA servers, and then the shambles of my driving.
Well, yes. I mean, in the end of it, I think it was the driving that did it. You were up there, to be fair, but then.
Yeah, I know I have pace, but the hearts were still cold and I had no grip. So
yeah. And what about what about the softs and what about lap 2, Ivan? Or is this a no comment?
To be honest, I know I didn't have the pace if I was on the same tire as the others. I tried to risk it, tried to go early on an undercut. Lap 2, I got into some kind of fighting, which I didn't like because it just put me slightly with the rhythm. And then basically did a stupid mistake, went to the AstroTurf, lost the car, and just hit the wall on the outside of turn 2.
Yeah, and well, thank you for answering the questions. I know it's probably not fun to answer the questions after a DNF.
I got used to it. Don't worry.
That was one of the best interviews I've ever heard, Ivan.
It was very PC, so thank you for keeping it PC. And well, I'll see you next week.
Yeah.
Yep.
And that is also Nike, aka Mr. Norris, who decided that he didn't want to race. He decided he wanted to reinstall the game. He probably could have made it in by this point, actually. He especially could have made it in if we have the safety car restart like we did under Yente, like we are under ARL, where we're waiting so long to get underway. When is he going to actually put the pedal to the metal? He's going to wait. He's going to wait. He's going to go. It's green flag racing once again. It's lap 10 of the Australian Grand Prix, and the second safety car has just come in. ARL leads this race. Luke Racer tries to get past J5. He's been successful. They're both off the circuit, though, and so Gaming Infinity could sweep through. He gets past J5. He's got the momentum, so he could get past Luke Racer probably, but he can't. J5's momentum, though, has taken him behind Briars into the last position. That Wooden Spoon, although that is at least ahead of KRL Raptor in the last position. Floyd Pink picks up that 3-second penalty. Luke Racer already out of the DRS after that, making that move on J5 that just sent them off the circuit. Bramble right on the rear now of MCH, looking to pressure with a new set of hard compound tyres. Looking around the outside, possibly just tucking in, as now he doesn't need to make this move. They can settle into the race. They're a third of the way. God, we're only a third of the way into this race. And, well, we have confirmation. It was actually not on purpose by Yente. He was trying to come into the pit. Then he got teleported into the pit. And he retired from the session. So that's the third retirement of this race. And it is certainly not what he would have wanted to see. Bramble right on the rear of MCH right now as we head around the final corner for lap 11 of this Grand Prix. He's right on that rear. He's pulling to the outside. MCH sort of covering off, not committing to a line, and maybe just warding Bramble off for the time being. And so Bramble sits in behind MP3 at the moment. And, well, he gets the exit out of turn number 1. He gets the run. He pulls to the outside of turn number 3. And he makes that move stick. And he's up into P2 now. He's going to be able to fight with ARL. He's going to be able to try to take that position. Luke Racer almost back in that DRS. Gaming Infinity 2.6 seconds off. .8 now, as the pack of 3 at the bottom tries to break away. And, well, the pack of 3 do break away. The pack at the top try to break away. And they're being successful with it at the moment. Briars makes his way past Gaming Infinity. So does J5. And he's up into P7. Bryce up into P6. Send back maybe from Gaming Infinity. But just staying behind J5 Gaming on the exit. Making that move back up past Bryce. And P6 is once again the kick Saubers. This fighting means that they're going to lose even more time to the cars ahead. And the battle for 6, 7, 8 appears to be the battle for 6, 7, 8 for the rest of this Grand Prix. As the battle for the lead wages on. And Bramble makes his way up into P1, ARL sitting in P2 and MCH 0.7 seconds back in P3 with Floyd Pig over and out of that DRS range, and he doesn't have it on this occasion. That could be crucial with 4 DRS zones around this circuit that he will most likely drop back now into the clutches of Loot Racer sitting in behind him, but the top 3 still away and holding position. At the moment, Bry's another 3 second heading Aston Martin's way. His teammate stayed penalty free at the moment, and he's breaking away, almost getting free of that DRS from ARL, but not quite yet. Loot Racer getting past Floyd Pink into P4, and well, he's going to now try to break into the DRS of MCH, trying to battle forward. He has the DRS from that previous double dose on Floyd Pink, and he's been able to close back in. There's a move in the background. Gaming Infinity past Briars for P7, the final 2 positions on this field. Bramble trying to break that DRS. Believe he might not have done it. I think he might have to wait another lap for it. Yes, he is going to have to wait another lap for it, but 1.2 seconds. He might not even make it back into that DRS. Might ARL as we head now lap 13 of this Grand Prix. Loot Racer right on the rear of MCH. The 2 Mercedes could be fighting. There's no team orders. It's round 1. Team orders would be boring. And MCH holding on to P3 for now. And just trying to cling onto it with Loot Racer and Floyd Pink both in the DRS behind. They're going to try to pressure so hard for this P3. There's no pressure coming from behind. J5 Gaming has broken free of Gaming Infinity and Briars, but has not quite yet caught up to Floyd Pink ahead. I thought there was another safety car. It's me being thrown off by that weird glitch where it says it's a safety car. F125 isn't far away, people. Don't worry. Loot Racer putting to the inside of MCH, getting that move done, and he's up into P3. F125, though, from the sounds of things, is only going to be on new-gen consoles. So if any of you are on a PS4 or an Xbox One, bad luck, because you will not be able to play F125. Although, depending on the quality of the game, bad, good luck, either one. But, yes. Heading out of the final corner, MCH 8/10 behind Loot Racer. Floyd Pig looking to pressure, looking to attack ahead as there's more yellow flags. Briars and Gaming Infinity. And that's Gaming Infinity who's gone around. Possibly contact with Briars. Don't think so, as there's no damage on that Aston Martin. But Gaming Infinity has certainly taken a lot of emotional damage, as well as a chunk of his front wing. He will come into the pits from 8th place and almost confirmed. Come on. That's the second driver who's done that now. Yente said it was a glitch. We'll see if Gaming Infinity says it's a glitch. But either way, the top 7 are now the drivers left in the race. Gaming Infinity either came in to change his front wing or for anything else. But, well, this is very interesting. This is very EA hit, I think, is this race. Gaming Infinity leaves the session from P8. Briars in P7, J5 in P6, Floyd Pink in P5. Everybody is out of the DRS, and I'm sure that's sort of a blessing for their races as DRS is enabled. We're back underway. Nobody picked up a drive-through from what I saw, but I could be wrong. I probably am wrong, because I'm thick. But anyway, Bramble now breaking away 2 seconds ahead of ARL in P1 with Loot Racer, MCH and Floyd Pink still the closest battle, but all of them now out of the DRS of each other. Floyd Pink almost within the DRS of MCH, but not quite. And he will continue to try to break back into that DRS. Thank you to those of you who've subscribed tonight. By the way, I've gained 2 subscribers, so that is very, very good. And, well, what happened to Gaming Infinity? I'm done with this game. I had ERS glitch and it wouldn't let me deploy. After I'd pitted, I'm done with this game. It's the same thing, different week. Well, all well and good. All well and good. You had an ERS issue. You crashed yourself into the pits. 3-second time penalty for Bramble. And that could cost him the race lead. But with the pace that he's got, I think he's going to go back up ahead and back up ahead of 3 seconds worth ahead of ARL. And there we go, 3.2 seconds. Floyd Pink just clinging on to the DRS of MCH. Luke Racer has the pace ahead of MCH. The 2 Mercedes now broken away. Shambles, yeah, not necessarily the driver's fault, but Shambles, yes, nonetheless. Mainly EA. Just causing a little bit of frustration from the drivers and the mistakes being dragged out. Gaming Infinity, by the way, saying, I don't want to talk about it, move on. So that means that he crashed into the pit wall. Legitimately. It is fair to be said, I think. God, this is going to my Enduro comms days. We got any sponsors? EA, that'd be funny. I say my endurance comms days like I literally don't do endurance comms now. I don't have anyone to pass over to, so you're just going to hear me ramble on for the next 13 laps unless we do have any incidents. And I'm not hoping there's incidents. I'm not hoping there's not. You know what I mean? So they would certainly spice the race up. We've got these two right close together. Floyd Pink just ahead, or just behind even of MCH. He's 5/10 behind, and he's going to open that DRS down the main straight. A penalty means that at the moment, MCH will be ahead regardless of who's ahead on track. Floyd Pink pulls to the inside line of turn number 1 and makes that move, but drives onto the grass, and MCH slots his way back into P4, and Floyd Pink has to do it all over again, just overshooting turn 1. And he might even drop out of the DRS as he tries to get those tyres back to working temperature. And MCH has an opportunity now to try to break free. And, well, he's not done so. 6/10 is the gap between MCH and Floyd Pink now. And, well, 4th and 5th, they are going to stay in between. And they're going to stay in 4th and 5th. I say in between because they're around the mid-pack of this race. Of course, the middle position would actually be 3.5. We don't have one of those. We have a 4th and a 5th. Floyd Pink right on the rear of MCH now with that DRS. But a poor exit out of the chicane means that he's not going to close in. He's going to try and go again in a little bit. And that little bit, presumably, if he can get the run, is going to be the main straight. We're on to lap 18 now, this Grand Prix. We've got 11 to go. And, well, now opening the DRS. Closing in down the straight. 2/10, 1/10 alongside. Can he make it stick this time? He's going to hold the inside line. Doesn't necessarily need to, but this time he has made that move, and MCH without that DRS is just going to try and use the slipstream to fight back. The Merc pulling to the inside line possibly, but Floyd Pink holding on around the outside and just taking that position. And Floyd Pink is now up into P4. MCH will have that DRS. He'll have that advantage back, and he will try to make that move once again back up into P number 4. It's a P4 position that could be contested as soon as the chicane. But Floyd Pink just holding on to that position. He has that straight line speed to hold on ahead of MCH at the moment. And it is what it is. MCH will have the DRS once again. He will pull to the inside line. Floyd Pink will defend successfully. And he holds on to the position. For now. His defence looks a bit more stout than MCH in P5. And so, yeah, it is a bit more stabbed. He's now 8/10 ahead, I think. He's sealed this position now. Despite the fact that MCH will close in with the DRS, I don't think he's going to close in with the DRS enough to fight back on this occasion. And with the time that he's losing in the second and third sector, I don't think MCH will be close enough to fight with Floyd Pink once again. And so the Ferrari will hold on to P4. But that penalty, if MCH can stay within range, then he will have P4 because Floyd Pink has 3 seconds worth of a time limit penalty. 4 track limits. And MCH just needs to keep it clean, keep it on the straight and narrow, and he has P4 sealed and dealed. He isn't going to want to do that, though. He wants it on track, and he pulls to the inside line, gets ahead before the chicane, and, well, that's him back up. Floyd Pink looking a bit more racy, looking a bit more successful with some of the moves that he's made, and he's going to try and get past Floyd Pink, but trying to get past MCH, but the Mercedes at the moment holding on to P4. We've got 9 laps left to go in this Grand Prix. Bramble leads by 6 seconds ahead of ARL now, and that gap is only increasing. ARL is leading Luke Racer by 6.8 seconds, and that gap as well is slowly increasing. They are all increasing these lap times and these gaps. The only one that isn't is Floyd Pink and MCH. Floyd Pink sending it to the inside. Very, very, very bold send. I don't think MCH was expecting it. And now Floyd Pink has to work back into the DRS, which is going to be easier said than done. Why is the game paused? I haven't touched anything. My mouse is miles away. We've unpaused it again. I don't know what that's about. I have had quite a few screen freezes. I'm having a few weird jaggedy issues, so apologies for that. But I'm not sure really why that is. But we continue on. Regardless. You can see on the track map the 2 Aston Martins are the closest together. Well, they're relatively like, one's the next car down on the circuit, one heading through sector 2 towards the DRS, so one heading up to the start-finish line to start lap 21. Bramble and Briars are having very opposite races today. Bramble has fought his way through the field. Briars appears to have been fighting his way backward down the field. And P7 is where he sits. MCH a little bit dramatic to pull to that inside line to try and ward off Floyd Pink. Because Floyd Pink isn't able to make his way back into that DRS, just for the time being at least. And he's 1.3 seconds behind MCH in 5th place. I think he's going to stay there now, and he's losing even more time. 1.3. It was 1.4 at one point. And it appears to be the case that Floyd Pink is gaining through Sector 2. So he's going to wheedle his way back into that DRS. Maybe not on this occasion. 1.09 seconds as they cross the detection point. So Floyd Pink isn't going to have it. But he's pushing to try and get back into it as they head down the main straight. DRS will be so advantageous here in this race. And lap 21 of this one. And it's still waging on. This battle is still going on. Floyd Pink and MCH, relatively similar pace. And they're holding stern to fight with each other. Bramble in P1 has been so impressive so far this race. That's the menu. That's P1. F1 and just one. Same thing, innit? Bramble continuing to lead 7.5 seconds ahead of ARL. And the former SKG man is going to have a very easy race, I think, from this point onwards. Unless he makes a mistake. I've seen him make mistakes before. A mistake like leaving SKG. Stuff like that. And, well, that means that it's never say never here. Did he even race? I know he raced. Did he do it once? He DNF'd in TTS. Did he do anything else? I don't think he did. He might even be using a SKG setup. So that would be impressive. Yeah, Brambles raced twice. He raced in TTS and got P15, and then he raced in VR and got, well, he DNF'd. Then he raced in TTS again. Yellow flags for somebody. Briars, I think. Yeah, it was Briars. He's in P7. He's going to be closed in and lapped, presumably by his teammate within the next couple of laps. There is a little bit going on, by the way, just to update you in the general chat, where Gaming Infinity is talking about him possibly having a clip for Woo, possibly having a clip for his incident, but not wanting to show it. Not sure why, but insane self-report is essentially the case there. ARL 8.2 seconds off a Bramble. Loot Racer 10.1 seconds. For ARL, and I apologise for the yawns tonight. I don't know why I'm yawning. It only ever happens during a IRL broadcast or a DCD, so it is what it is. Briars can now give Bramble the DRS if he so wants to. He can slow down, but I mean, helping your teammate isn't necessarily a round one thing to do, because there's no championships being fought for yet, but I'd say that Bramble's got to be a pretty high contender. Yente Barsh, another one. I think he's got a pretty decent opportunity if we get the race started on time. And of course tonight he did not have that luck, and so he ended up retiring from the session, or he probably would have retired in the pits, but crashed in the end. We'll watch somebody else. Who should we watch? We should watch J5 Gaming. We'll watch an onboard of J5 Gaming. Because why not? The Kick Hours engine is generally a very nice sound. I love the sound of the Ferrari engine. But yeah, it's a good one. Yellow flag's out once again. Briars, I believe. I believe it's his fault as he heads through. I don't think it would have been Bramble, because he's actually gaining on, he's gaining time on ARL behind. There we go. I believe Bramble has just passed Briars, as he indeed has. He's up into P1, and Briars has now been lapped. He can hold up ARL if ever the V card catches up. But we're going to watch on board with the man who is the quickest at the moment. He's cruising to a race victory here in Australia in the opening round of the season. Looks to be heading Bramble's way. He was in contention for the title fight last season, and then he abandoned it to go and drive TTS for SKG. But he's now back and he's ready to go on a title charge. His title rival for that time out wasn't able to make this race. His game was still updating, although based on the fact that we took so long to get going, it would be unsurprising if they were able to fight throughout this race and this season. It will be a very interesting season to watch, so make sure you keep your eyes on it. You keep those glasses pointed towards, I don't know what I'm talking about anymore. You keep watching, essentially. You subscribe, you stick around, because I know this race hasn't been the most action filled, trust me. Watch the finale of the last season. That's action filled. This one has been less so, but not through anyone's fault. I think there's just been too much of a potential gap, if that makes sense. So in terms of their liking of Australia, Bramble P1, big gap, and then P2, and then big gap, and then P3. Lap 26 of 27. We're halfway through it, and then it's 26, 27, 28, and 29. We've got 3.5 laps left to go. Bramblers can win this at an absolute canter. J5 Gaming, in the meantime, has caught right up to Floyd Pink on the rear of the Ferrari, who hasn't quite had the same pace ever since he lost that DRS to MCH. He's just dropped off 2.5 seconds now, is the gap. And, well, it's not looking set to go down at all, but it is what it is at the moment. J5 is going to try and close in, and he's going to try and take that position at the moment. He doesn't need to take it because of Floyd Pink's penalty, but I'm sure he's just going to want to, just to seal it and make it exist in their minds. He's closing in 0.5 4. It's an interesting one, that, because drivers really do want to take it on track rather than sit behind. I think they want to know that they've definitely got that position and the penalty can't be removed. But yeah, J5 likely to want to take this position. And don't forget, MCH is not too far up the field. He's only 2.2 seconds ahead of Floyd Pink. And Briars, he's in P... Well, not Briars. Yeah, these three closest together by a mile. And I think it's fair to be said on this circuit, because Bramble, no, he's now 10 seconds ahead of ARL. Luke Racer 14 seconds behind. And this is where, this is a good opportunity for me to teach you about a little something called the John Dalton Zone. The John Dalton Zone, coined after a man, never guess what his name is. It's John Dalton, if you didn't know. Who, as well, I'll explain in a second, J5 sending it to the inside of the chicane. Floyd Pink looking to make the move back on the exit. Doesn't quite have the traction. And with that DRS as well for J5, he seals that position. The fight will go back onto the main straight. But anyway, the John Dalton Zone is when somebody is... There's a massive gap to the cars ahead. There's a massive gap to the cars behind. It's when you're sitting in around P2, P3. And that is the occurrence. That is the John Dalton Zone. And at the moment, ARL and Luke Racer both find themselves in those situations. Briar's yellow flags once again, probably letting ARL go. On the penultimate lap now of this Grand Prix. And Bramble is going to win this one. It's an absolute canter. Is he not, darling? Bramble's going to win this one by an absolute canter. He's almost finished this lap already. And we've got the drivers in P5, P6. In Sector 1, that is the level of dominance that Bramble has shown today. And he's going to win this race by over 10 seconds ahead of ARL in second. The driver who came second in the championship last season, last time out, did not race, so could not compete for the championship. The title rival and the reigning champion did not turn up today. And so Bramble will take all of those points home. And he will take that championship lead after round 1 of this Grand Prix. He's got one more lap to go, one more circuit of this Australian Grand Prix. And it's going to be pretty much a victory lap for him. You've got ARL and Luke Racer in the John Dalton zones behind. See, you're learning. And it's unlikely now that they're going to be able to close that gap in that is unless Bramble makes a mistake, collects ARL as well, and then Luke Racer can come through. But by that point, if that contact is so great that Luke Racer has been able to get through, I'm expecting DNFs and Luke Racer to have won the race. We've only had 2 safety cars today, as well as a virtual safety car, I guess, so it's not too terrible. We had they were all early on, 3 safety car periods total. And in the end, it was safety car, and virtual safety car. Nobody picked up a drive-through for speeding. Interesting, because a lot of the time the Delta can be a bit messed up, and they can start to, yeah, just really play with you. Now, around the final couple of corners, Bramble will come. He will take victory here in round 1. He'll take the full points home. And, well, what a performance he has had. To take home those points and to take the early championship lead as his title rival not racing tonight has given Bramble an incredible opportunity, and he's taken it with both hands. ARL will come home in second place in the V-Carb, and Luke Racer 16 seconds back. He's in Mongolia, but now he should make it to the end of the pit straight after 16 seconds and take P3, the final podium spot. Then it's MCH in P4. There must have been contact between MCH and JS, or J5, even just that little bit. because someone tell me how they've been reeled in by the cars behind. MCH will come P4 with J5 P5, and Floyd Pink P6. Briar's the final finisher, and that, ladies and gents, is the season opener here in the DCD Racing League. Victory taken by, Bramble. Absolutely dominant performance today. And he showed why he was champion-elect last time out. Didn't quite win the championship, but he showed why he is right up there with some of the very quickest. So he takes victory ahead of ARL. 8.3 seconds between the two. Then Luke Racer, 25 seconds. MCH, 34. J5, 36. Floyd Pink, 40. And then Briars a lap down. But thank you very much for joining me for tonight's broadcast for round 1 of the DCD Racing League. We will see you again next time. Goodbye.